So I will transfer you my energy. I will transfer my karma. Here is my karma on you.
Yeah, brother.
Please record.
Boom. Cloud server connected. And we're back.
Namaste.
Yeah, there you go. This is John.
This is Shane.
And you just finished listening to episode 7 of the Question Talk podcast. And we are getting into the surprise bonus episode, rapid fire questions, segment name pending. We are just going to go through a list of questions that we've researched for each other. And then should we put a limit on the amount of time it takes you to respond to each question?
Probably a minute or two.
A minute or two? Okay, so we'll go with
Not less.
just until we feel like it's been long enough. And
What's that show? It's on ESPN, and it's the one black guy and one white guy, and they have like 30 seconds to talk about.
Pardon the interruption.
That's it.
Pardon the interruption.
Yeah, like that.
That show's still on. That was on since we were like little kids.
Those guys have such a good life because all they have to do is talk about something for 30 seconds to a minute, and it doesn't matter what they say, and they move on to the next, and people already forgot the 30 seconds they said, and it's like, oh, something else I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Great.
Except for that one guy, Max Kellerman. Do you know who that is?
You don't like him?
Oh my God. I feel like he gets owned all the time in like all of his arguments. I feel like he gets like, not by Stephen A., but I watched this one like clip over and over of him saying that Kawhi is a better clutch performer than Kobe Bryant. And who's that guy from Duke? Chris Duhon? No.
Jay Williams?
Jay Williams. Yeah, Jay Williams. He was like, name it once, like one time that like Kawhi was more clutch than Kobe's ever been.
Game 7, that's about it.
Yeah, but that's not even more, like Kobe's already done that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like
the best one is about the Tom Brady. He always brings up Tom Brady saying, like, you're done. And it's like, well, since you've been saying he's done, it's been like 3 more Super Bowls.
Do you like him?
I actually do, yeah. Some of the stuff, so the one thing about those commentators, they're expected to be so well-rounded in every single sport, which is just not possible. And I think Max actually, didn't he come from like fighting?
Boxing. Yeah.
So when it comes to boxing, stuff like that, I listen to him. But when it comes to certain things, I'm like, guys, I don't care who you are. You don't know anything.
Right, yeah.
You know just as much as the stuff you Googled that somebody else said.
Right. Yeah, they just have a bigger platform sometimes to stand on. You know, the bigger audience. So it seems like they're more accurate, they're correct, but they're really just not. They're just talking to more people, or their message is just louder.
The best thing about them is, though, they could both agree. Let's say, who do you think the best player in the world is? And let's say they say LeBron. LeBron's the best player, and this is why LeBron's the best player. He is, the most well-rounded player. But the next person goes, no, I'm going to tell you why you're wrong. He's the best player because of this. So even if you're both agreeing, all you have to do is agree, but say you're wrong.
Yeah.
In your argument.
Yeah.
So if you disagree, you disagree. That's easy. But if you agree, all you have to do is say you agree, but you disagree why they think he's the best. It's so easy.
Yeah. No, yeah.
But they're very articulate, so
very scholarly.
That's a skill. Yeah, that's a skill.
Yeah. Years of practice. All right, I'm going to bring up my questions. All right, so finish going over it. We'll answer the questions and we'll move on to the next. We'll go one at a time so we can kind of stay in the zone. So I'll ask Shane all of your questions. You'll ask me all of my questions. And then at the end, we're going to ask each other some questions to get us to talk to each other about ourselves a little bit, just to help you guys get to know us better, and what kind of questions you should ask us. Just like I like video games a lot, so if you have questions pertaining to video games, you can ask them, and that would be something that I'd be interested in, and spend some time researching. Shane played soccer in college. He's a referee, so soccer related stuff can go his way. But really, anything that you guys think of, just send it our way, and we'll talk about it. And that kind of leads us into the next portion, is when we got our second question from the audience out there, and it just so happens to pertain to the Tiger King. And
so why don't you give a little bit of background to what the Tiger King is?
Yeah, so I'll give a little bit, but since you just recently watched the first episode and then refused to watch the rest of the season, I'd like to get you to kind of recap it, because I feel like yours is going to be a little bit more on point than mine. I ended up watching the whole season. The season, it's a show on Netflix. It's kind of like a reality TV. It's one of those
documentary type thing.
Yeah. And it's about big cats, like lions and tigers.
But not bears.
Yeah, but bears aren't cats.
Yeah, but we have lions and tigers, you have bears. Oh my.
So it's a show on Netflix. There's this guy called Joe Exotic, and he changed his name to that, but he's this, I forget even where they're in. What state are they in?
Florida,
Oklahoma?
right? I think it's Florida.
No. Is it Florida? I don't
Florida.
know. Or that lady Carol Baskin, she's in Oklahoma. I feel like one of those people they interviewed was from Oklahoma.
I don't know. But
maybe, you're probably more right anyways. Well, so Joe Exotic owns this tiger zoo. Which is really a zoo. Primarily, I think he says he has over 200 and some tigers at the zoo, among other animals.
I believe it was 227.
There you go.
I don't know. I remember that.
and then when I can't even remember now.
So what?
So he has he's arch nemesis, Carol Baskin, who has another zoo, and her zoo is more
a tiger sanctuary.
Right. Yeah. She's on the side of the tigers, rather, saying that Joe Exotic and his zoo are putting them in cages, not taking good care of them, and she thinks that they should be freed from that. They're in captivity, and they're almost like held against their will in unsafe conditions. So she constantly berates Joe and his zoo, and then Joe does the same thing back to Carol, and ultimately Carol, they just keep going back and forth. But and that's what the show is literally all about. And Joe is a homosexual man who's married to two other homosexual men, and then those men weren't really. You didn't watch the whole thing though, so I'm gonna ruin some of it for you.
I don't care.
So those two guys. So all right. So I'll stop there before I get to like the very end and ruin it all. But all right. So give me your take on the Tiger King.
So to me, I just hate these types of shows where we show these like real people who are just kind of insane. And I saw that it was #1 on Netflix, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's almost like when the Jersey Shore came out. The Jersey Shore, everybody watched it. It was like the best thing. It's just watching like a bunch of.
One of my friends is rewatching it right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No idea why. Yeah.
I guess it is like sort of entertainment, but it's just so ridiculous to me. But the one thing that kind of bothered me is that people know this is going on. They said that there's more lions in America than like the rest of the world.
Oh yeah, because people like rich people love buying them and shit.
Yeah.
Like,
and for example, main character Joe, he had over 200 cats, big cats, and just looking at his zoo, it's not a zoo. It's literally just a place with a bunch of cages. And I don't care if he loves them, he takes good care of them. It's still ridiculous that he can have that many without, there's no laws in place for that. And I didn't see any health inspectors or anybody come say, hey, you need to make sure this is correct. And they had the one guy, I don't think it was Joe, but he had a snow leopard in Florida.
Yeah.
In a van. And I'm like, this is crazy. And
I'm sure you bought like a exotic snake or something too.
But my thing is, people were making a huge thing like, oh, like these animals are in. Carol said, oh, your animals are in cages, which is terrible. You should set them free. However, just come over to my preservatory, which is essentially just a bigger cage.
Yeah.
And I'll charge you more.
Yeah, it doesn't even look like it's bigger. I think they like in the later episodes, they take they get kicked out of they go and visit Carol and her zoo, and they get kicked out, and then they rent a helicopter or a plane. I think it's a helicopter, and they just fly over Carol's zoo, and they're talking about like, oh, what if I just tossed a hand grenade down there? Like, what if we just killed her? Like all this crazy stuff.
Well, the one thing that kind of was crazy that the first episode they showed Shaq. Remember, Shaq was like, "Hey, Joey Exotic, I need two of these cats," and I was thinking, well, they're kind of, trying to say that anybody who owns big cats is like a piece of shit. And then they showed Shaq. If I was Shaq, I'd be pretty pissed or suing or something. Because I don't know. I just don't. I guess it's fairly entertaining. I just hate that I watch shows with people like that because they just piss me off so much.
Yeah, but that's like most of America is like that, man. Like that's like there's like, what about all those people who like went to that park and I honestly I think that would be many. Yeah, I mean it'd be kind of cool to go. I don't know but I mean that might cross like moral boundaries, if I want to support something like that, but I think it would be fucking cool. Like they're fucking in cages with tigers. It's nuts. Like just like hanging out. Oh, was the first episode where that lady got her arm bit off? No,
I don't know.
This lady,
I don't think so.
So she's working there and she's feeding the tiger. Her hand is in the bars. It gets ripped off, and Joe throws on his this fake EMT jacket. And he's like his mullet is all just unreal. All of it is just so surreal. And then he runs over to the lady who's working with her arm. They stitch it up or put a tourniquet on it, and they take her to the hospital. And then the next day after they stitch it up and get her blood in, I'm gonna have to. It's been so long since I watched this. I'm gonna have to fact check it. But I think it's the next day or within a week, she's back without an arm, feeding the fucking tigers. That's nuts.
I'm telling you, one guy. I was listening to another podcast they were talking about, and apparently the one guy, he doesn't have legs, and they're kind of like, oh, probably from the tigers. He's like, no, I got this from ziplining.
Right. Yeah. He did.
I don't know. All those people are so interesting. I don't know in a good way or not. It's just I feel like they all have some sort of mental disability.
I think they're just have weird interests, and they just pursue those interests. Because I mean, I don't know. They're in the later episodes, there's this other guy who gets introduced, and he's just loaded. He's a con artist type.
Yeah.
And he's just just really successful con artist, but he dresses like shit. He goes to Vegas, brings a little tiger cubs with him, and gives them to tells girls hey, I have baby tigers in my fucking room. you want to come up and see him? And then, yeah, it brings them up, and then they, like, probably just have huge orgies. Or he just charges them a shit ton of money to, like, pet with the fucking tiger. Like, they must make a ton of money doing that. But he's a shitty person, you know what I mean? He probably, like drinks fucking, like, natty ice out of the fucking 24-ounce can, slamming back some Michelob's, you know. I don't know. That just fucking... But he's rich. Isn't that weird? It's annoying as fuck, right?
So it's actually not weird because I was listening to, what's that one lady on Shark Tank, Barbara?
Yeah. Well, there's two.
The one with like the shorter hair, the older one.
Barbara, yeah.
So she was saying that some of the best salespeople that she has are, I don't know, maybe like not the best people, like not maybe people you don't want to be friends with or anything, but they're really good at selling because they're really good at, you know, lying, and they're really good at like kind of scheming.
Yeah.
She knows that, but she doesn't care because she's making money off of them.
Right. Well, yeah, but that's just him. Yeah, you know, it's just like it's just that guy. It's not like those shitty salespeople are being supported by Barbara, who is a good person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The shitty guy who runs the zoo and brings the girls into the hotel room that's just his thing. It's like he's just all just shitty. And that's what's interesting, because he's still rich, even though he's a shitty person, because other people are just stupid, so they spend their money wherever they want to, and those shitty people get rich. That's basically what happened. That's crazy. That's nuts. All right. So let's do, you want to go first? That's Tiger King. Oh, and he's married, Joe Exotic married 2 guys, but those guys were not actually homosexuals. They were on meth. It wasn't ketamine, it was meth. Yeah, they were just hooked on meth. Instead of they would just like follow him around because he had the meth, I guess, and they would just follow him around, and that's why they all of them were married. All 3 of them were married together. There was like a whole ceremony and all that stuff. Yeah, but then they later came out and said they're not homosexual. They were just hooked on meth, and the guy doesn't have any teeth. Did you see him?
I didn't see him, but that's not surprising. I can't hear you. John, we lost you. Lost John's audio, which is great too, because his facial expressions were. Oh, there we go.
Am I back?
You're back.
I was freaking out.
You're getting so animated too, and I was like, I hear you. You're very animated.
What was it? Shit, now I forgot what I was going to say.
You're talking about meth.
Oh yeah, the fact that they were all on fucking meth handling tigers and running a zoo, like that's fucking crazy. They're just like all. Can you imagine?
Literally mental cases.
That's crazy. I couldn't. Like, could you imagine? I couldn't even do that. Could you imagine the rush of being next to a fucking tiger, like without any bars, just like standing next to you? Imagine how scared you'd be. And then being on meth, like what the fuck?
So, have you ever seen somebody on meth?
No.
I've seen it one time.
Oh, really?
It was when I was living at that one place where I had to go. I didn't have a laundry, so I had to go to the laundromat for my clothes. And I was at the laundromat, and all of a sudden I see these police officer and an ambulance come. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? There was a guy who, I think there was a 7-Eleven right next door, like a little convenience thing. So he just did meth, was in his car, and backed up. So he's in the middle of the parking lot, and he just stopped, and he was like this in his car. And the car, his foot was on the brake, and the cops came, and they tried to wake him up, and I guess he put his foot off the brake, so it started going. And then he stopped again, and they took him out. And
Holy
I was
shit.
just watching there, literally in the laundromat, and he's like coming in and out. And Cop opens it up, goes up. This is it. Puts the needle on top of the car.
Holy
and
shit.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Just did it right there in the fucking parking lot? Holy shit, it's gotta be insane. That's crazy. That he was so addicted to the thing he couldn't even wait to fucking get home. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Wow.
So meth is quite the drug. So people, if you are listening, please
Stay away from meth.
do meth.
Yeah, don't do meth. Man.
Stay in school, kids.
All right. Okay. All right. Let's. We'll try to do it within. Oops.
Oops. What's going on?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. What's going on? All right. I'm gonna ask you a question. Try to get it within a minute and a half. All right.
Okay.
First question. Are you ready? Are you ready? If you could change one rule about the NBA, what rule would you change?
One rule in the NBA. What I would change. Can it be a rule or can it be the court? I want to change.
Yeah,
the
I
court.
guess those are rules.
So I would change the 3-point line. So you know how I think we've talked about this, but in the 3-point line, it arcs and then it stops and it goes down straight line on the corners.
Yeah.
I would have it just go out to the boundary, so a corner 3 would not exist anymore. So why I think that would be awesome is because the game is not a big man game anymore. It's literally guard, have one big guy in the paint just for protection. Well, if you took out the corner 3, then you wouldn't have like stretch 4s as much because you don't really have to guard the corner.
Right.
So yeah, I'll let somebody take a long 2.
Yeah.
And then that would help big men. And the only other rule I can think is like the 3-second violation. I think it's so stupid now. I don't care if somebody's in the middle of the paint. They're so good now where it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
It just slows the game down. It's annoying.
Yeah, you do see a lot of teams running the same defense, just that big man in the middle and 4 stretch players. All right, cool. All right, question 2. Marry, fuck, kill. Pikachu, Squirtle, Charmander.
Oh, man. The killing part's the hard one. I'm gonna say I'm gonna get so much flack for this. I would probably kill Pikachu.
Damn.
I would probably marry Squirtle and fuck Charmander.
Why?
Because Charmander's
Top.
best starter. Squirtle is the cutest and he blows bubbles. The Pikachu is just overhyped, even though he's adorable.
Yeah. All right. If you could live one day over again, just once, what day would it be?
If I could live one day over again, just once, what would it be? I have no idea. Can we come back to it? I gotta think more on that one.
Question 4. Abraham Lincoln versus Yao Ming. Who wins in a fight?
Definitely Yao Ming. Yao Ming dunked over Shaq.
Yeah, I think he's just in better shape.
He's massive. I love you, Abe, but
All right.
that's a big man.
All right. Think Sandlot, but basketball. What NBA player as a kid would have starred as the equivalent to Benny the Jet Rodriguez?
Oh, wow. I feel like there could be so many of them. So it'd have to be like a really cool kid, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't Benny like super awesome?
Yeah, he's just like super nice, most athletic. He went on to play for the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Still home.
I feel like it'd be Chris Paul.
I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. All right, cool. All right, question 6. Applesauce lemonade, tomato ranchero, or brown banana. Which would be the best tasting ice cream?
One more time.
Applesauce lemonade is 1. Tomato ranchero is 2. Or brown banana is 3.
Oh, brown banana.
You really?
Oh, brown banana.
I guess.
You know why?
Why?
Because I believe banana bread is made from brown bananas.
It's sweeter. It's sweeter. Applesauce lemonade, though. Come
That
on.
sounds gross. I don't know. It sounds so gross.
All right. Question 7. Rank the following sounds: someone blowing their nose, car horn, thunder, popcorn popping. Someone. Let me go through again.
Thunder is number 1. That's the best.
Yeah.
Popcorn popping's number 2. Then the blowing the nose and the car horn. So I absolutely hate car horns, and I hate people that just honk for like no reason. You know how when let's say you're in a turn lane and you go, and it happens all the time where people accidentally block like the flow of traffic.
Yeah.
And people are like just honking, like honk, like, well, they can't do anything. Like, they wouldn't be in the middle of the road if, I know it's against the law to do it, but it happens all the time. You know, people wouldn't be there if they could go.
Yeah.
And I don't know, car horns just really piss me off. I yelled at somebody a couple months ago because they were honking, and it was the same thing. They were trying to, pull up a little bit so the flow of traffic could go, and they were just laying on the horn, and I literally got tired of it because they kept honking and honking. I was like, will you cut it out? And Jem was with me. So annoying.
Yeah, it is like the easiest way for someone to become obnoxious is by honking the horn. There's a car alarm in the parking lot. It goes off all the fucking time, like during the day. So annoying. All right. Question 8. Would a tiger and bear mix be called a bearger or a tiger?
Bearger sounds so much better.
Yeah. Tiger.
What about a biger?
Ooh. Yeah. Biger. Number 9. How many times do you think we've said the word like on our podcast?
1,023.
Probably
not that much, but we're probably in the couple hundred.
Yeah. All right. Last one. If your life was a movie. Oh, wait. No, we have to go back to 3. If your life was a movie, what title would it be? What would the title be? Allergies.
That goofy kid?
A goofy kid.
A goofy kid.
Any punctuation at the end?
Yes, it would be rhetorical, question mark, exclamation point.
Oh. Wow.
That goofy kid?
Huh? Nice. All right, cool. You're up. Or I'm up.
What was the other one?
Wait, if you could live one day over again, what day would it be?
It has to be fun, right? Fun day. Trying to think of a really fun day. I need to have more fun in my life. I don't know.
Honestly, I would just pick any day like a year ago or so, and then I would just stop whatever I was doing that day. Like a day that I wasn't doing anything, I would like stop. Like if I was at work, I would like stop working or like call in sick or something. And I would just go hang out with my dad and just do that all day. So like it wouldn't matter like what I did. I wouldn't like go back and visit a memory that I had with my dad, because I thought about I would go to the Nebraska game, but I wouldn't want to do it over because I already have such good memories. So I would just pick a day that I didn't have any memories from, and then just like make new ones. I think that would be cool.
Yeah, so just have like a really nice day, like a spring day or a fall day where it's 70 degrees, nice weather.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that'd be cool.
Pretty cool. All right, you're up.
Let's see. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 12.
Oh, overachiever.
Yes. I think some of this is questions about you as well, but I'm just going to do them anyway, because I can come up with other questions. In the 5 major weightlifting lifts, what is a weight you want to reach in each?
Oh, in each? I would be
So
bad.
people who don't know the 5 major, it's bench, squat, deadlift, clean, and snatch, I believe.
Yeah, snatch. Yeah, I don't think deadlift. I don't know. I'd have to fact check that. I don't know if the deadlift is in there or not.
I think it is.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it. I don't know my goal right now is to work on my snatch. I want to snatch my body weight.
Okay.
And right now I'm at 155, and I weigh.
Wait. Oh, I thought you said you weighed 155. Eat something.
No. So my max is 155, and I weigh. Last time I weighed myself, I was like 186. That was like a couple weeks ago. I'll probably stay around. I guess like 185. Everything else, I'm just trying to get better at everything. Oh, they're so technical that it's just like trying to get the technique down before I start adding weight. But the snatch is coming along pretty good, so my goal.
Okay, what is your favorite restaurant chain?
Oh man.
It's gotta be a chain.
Yeah, okay. Man, I don't know. I gotta go Taco Bell.
Interesting.
Taco Bell.
Is there a reason?
Go there, like spend like $10, you get food for like a week. And it's not like, if depending on what you get there, it's not that bad out of like the fast food chains. Maybe Wendy's. No, Taco Bell. Sticking with Taco Bell.
Okay, what is your favorite color and why?
My favorite color is blue.
We are brothers. That's my favorite color too.
Nice. I don't really have a reason. I think it's just like, I guess I like the way that it looks the best. Like on things.
Okay, if you had to go back in time and select a different school and major, what would it be?
Like university?
Yeah.
I would want to try out a bigger school. So I went to 2 small schools.
Yeah.
I would probably go like some state university, and I would probably study like filmmaking. That's what I studied at Charleston for a little bit.
Filmmaking.
Yeah, it's cool. I made this one weird like music video in Charleston where I was just like, I would like set the camera up in like this neighborhood, like in like the bad, like not really the bad part of town, but it was like it was like in the city. And I would set it up there, and then I would just like walk up and down these streets, like in view, like all around. And then I would edit it like it on the software, so it looked like I was just kind of like going all around, which is kind of cool. But it looked fucking weird when I was just walking back and forth, like in the middle of the street and shit. Like I would walk up these stairs, and then I would like walk back up and down, and then it would look like I was crazy. But it was kind of cool. All right.
What is something bizarre you are really interested in?
Oh, I'm into conspiracy theories like right now. I'm like going into like the I guess not so much conspiracy theories, but it kind of spirals off from that. Originally, I'm interested in like the Freemasons. Like that stuff is like that's interesting to me. Like I think that's like this wealthy club, and they like I don't know, it's just interesting. That's what I think. It's bizarre.
What is one of your most regretful moments?
Regretful?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Is it a pen? You have a pen you're clicking?
Yeah. Is that annoying?
Yeah, you gotta stop that.
There was this one time when I was playing baseball in high school, and I had a perfect game going into the last inning, it was the sixth inning, and there were 2 outs left, and in the sixth inning, and the next guy hit the ball right back to me, and then I stepped to throw it to first, and I threw it right into the dirt, and the ball got back behind the first baseman. And the guy rounded first, went to second, so it was an error. So I still had the no-hitter and the shutout going. Next batter gets a single on the next pitch, single over the shortstop or up the middle, up that direction. And then guy on second scores. So no-hitter and shutout gone. I end up winning the game, but that's pretty regretful. Just fucking throwing it 10 feet right into the dirt.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah, it
sucked. Did you slip?
No, I don't really remember why. I think honestly, I just like choked. It was just like, fuck. And I had been on like all fucking game too. Like it was unreal. Like I was like mowing these kids down. It was awesome. It was easily the best I've ever pitched in my life. And then like I just tossing it over. That's like that. I think about that moment so much because it taught me so much about like finishing like a task. Like every single part of that task is so important to finishing, like completion. Because you can't like I was so awesome at pitching, but the 3% that I have to field in my job, I failed at. I was like, what the fuck? Whatever.
All right, we'll go to the next one so you can not think about that bad moment anymore. What is your favorite casino game?
Blackjack. Because it's taking money from the house.
Okay, well, if you can count.
No.
Oh, I guess you're right.
Yeah,
It is just the house. Okay.
Yeah.
You got it. If you could be any dog breed, what would it be?
I'd be one of those breeds that like are in like the Swiss Alps and they like go out and find people in the snow. Those big fuckers.
Saint
like,
Bernard?
Yeah. I'd be one of those. Yep.
I would either be, there'd be 3 things for me. Either a German Shepherd, a Pit Bull, or a Husky.
Okay. Just roll them
Husky,
up.
Husky's sentimental. Pit bulls are badass. German shepherds are pretty badass, and
Loyal. I guess
yeah,
they're
just
all.
being badass would be pretty cool.
Yeah. That'd be a good dog.
Yeah.
Can you ever? I guess you can't really. Can you breed like 3 types of dogs? I guess you would have to have one would have to be half, right?
Yep.
And then
You
you
can.
just get a purebred pit bull and mix it with a German Shepherd Husky mix.
Yeah, you can do that.
Um,
I googled. It was like a golden husky, like a golden retriever and husky mix, and some of them look real weird.
Real.
Let's see the next one. Which celebrity would you date if you had the choice? And obviously, if you were single.
Who used to be my celebrity crush? I feel like I definitely still have one. Right.
It's tough, right? I used to have so many more when I was growing up.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't
I
have
haven't,
it.
yeah, I guess maybe Jennifer Aniston, because she like looks the exact same as she did like when I first saw her. You know what I mean? Like she's like 50 years old. She looks probably better than she did like on Friends. You know?
Mine was T Swift for the longest time.
Oh. Okay.
The Swift star.
Swift. So what? Wait, did it change or is it not?
I don't know. I don't really know. I don't know if I have one.
I'm not really
I'm
paying
sure.
attention to the celebrity life anymore.
Yeah. I'm not like a fangirl either. You know, when I was working for the radio station, I would meet some of these musicians and I would just be like, hey, what's up? Didn't care. But the people I worked with were like, oh my God, I'm meeting Tim McGraw. I'm like, it's I don't get it.
Yeah, it is people.
All mental disorders.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
All right.
Is that one of your dogs, or was that upstairs?
Oh, you can hear it? Yeah, it's one of ours. Jojo went to get food from her aunt, which is awesome.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, I have 3 left.
All right, cool.
Would you rather be the best chef in the world or the best musician?
Musician, that'd be cool. Because I've always wanted to be able to, Why? I've always wanted to be able to sing really good. I feel like that would be cool because then I could just do it like anywhere. I could just like start singing.
Does a singer count as a musician?
That's what I'm saying. If it doesn't,
it doesn't. We'll say it doesn't.
Then I would still be a musician because I think that like people who play the piano really good are cool.
I like the violin as well. Violin, piano.
Yeah, like I feel like it's really impressive just to be able to play an instrument. I can't even read music, so I'm a waste.
Okay, here. Pepsi or Coke?
Pepsi.
Why?
The first thing that came to my mind.
So mine is actually, so I probably like Coke better, but Pepsi's more sentimental to me because when I was growing up, my grandmother would always have Pepsi in the basement, and I would always go and get one Pepsi every day.
Nice. We were like a store brand cola family. We had like Mr. Pibb, Dr. Bob's.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah, I forget what that shit was called. It was like Sam's Choice Cola or something.
That stuff's the worst.
So much.
Wasn't it just like cola? Oh my gosh, what's
so gross.
I'm gonna Google that. Keep talking while I Google that.
All right, cool.
Off-brand.
I have some questions about you too.
Okay, shoot.
All right. So, well, first, where are you from?
I am from Boonesboro, Maryland, born and raised.
Um,
Small little town in Weston, Maryland. It's a country town, country
is.
people, country living.
Yes. Takes a while to get back there. Takes a while to get back there. What is one of your favorite memories from the last 5 years?
Favorite memories last 5 years. Gosh, man. See, the problem with all these is I have a terrible memory. Oh, so I will probably say this one because if I don't, I will probably get criticized or crucified, one of the two. So my wedding was actually kind of cool because
I was about to say,
it was
like,
small, which I loved, but we went out the day before and we did everything. So we went out that morning. We went to this wholesale flower place. We bought all the flowers. Jem was making the cake, and we planned everything in literally a day. And I knew that Jem had a lot to do, so I told her to, like, hey, go bake, since I can't bake with my life depends on it. I can arrange these fucking flowers. So we had all the pots and I had the flowers, and I was like, I'm just gonna do it. Go. And so I literally arranged the flowers, and it actually turned out really good.
that's awesome.
So it was such a stressful day, but it was actually kind of fun.
It's cool.
If that makes
Glad
sense.
you guys got to do like all that stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. All right. What are your interests? What interests you?
Sports. The science behind sports, because I think that is something that is underutilized a lot. So I was talking to somebody about this today. I saw an article or a video of Bill Belichick, and I think it was before the Super Bowl against the Falcons. They saw that Julio Jones was not cutting as sharply off his right leg as fast as well as his left leg. So getting in and out of his breaks on the left side was slower than the right. So they started guarding him where he was cutting faster to limit him. And so, like, little things like that, I think are really intriguing. And just like the one thing I told you where Drew Brees and Greg Maddux, their motions are almost identical. When throwing, obviously there's different, there's more when you're in baseball, there's more force coming off the back foot, but mechanically it's almost the same. I forget, it's called like the motion science, Also, I'm a huge anime fan. I watch anime every day. I think anime gets a bad rap. However, it's amazing. The only thing that may deter people is most anime comes from Japan, and most anime have, like, the girls make, like, moaning sounds too much, or they're all or they're like half naked. So you could have an episode where 99% of the episode it's just good plot, action, but there's one scene where the girl's like getting naked or like half naked, and she does like an O face. And there's so many memes out there where it's like, oh, watching the show, and 99% of the time when I'm watching it, this is what the show's about. But when my mom comes in, it's this scene. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I know that because Jem was on the phone with her mom I think it was her mom, and the one episode I was watching got really, really bad with that. So I looked at it real quick. I was like, "What the?" So I paused the show. It was literally just moaning the whole time. I'm like, "What the fuck is this?" I was like, "I hate this. I hate this part."
Yeah, it's got to be awkward because, like, how do you, like, oh, I'm just watching this video. I'm just watching the show, but, like, what everyone else sees you watching is just porn. So they're like, oh, you were just watching a show, but the show was porn. So it's a porn show.
And one thing about anime too is everybody thinks anime is like hentai, like the anime porn.
Is that what the distinction is between like hentai is just porn? Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
So those listeners out there, it's big difference.
Yeah, clear in the air.
Okay, so those are my two big interests.
Nice. All right. What is your favorite movie? And if that's too hard, we'll give you a top 3. But we're looking for favorite.
The Legend of Bagger Vance might be my favorite.
Wow. Did not expect that.
It's a golf movie with Matt Damon and Will Smith.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
It's a really good movie.
Nice. Who would you like to have dinner with? They could be dead or alive in the past.
Who would I have dinner with? I think I'm LeBron.
Whoa.
Big LeBron fan, so I would like to have a Taco Tuesday with LeBron.
Oh, taco. Give me a Taco Tuesday.
You want me to say Taco Tuesday?
I want you to say Taco Tuesday.
Like a wacky Taco Tuesday?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Put me on the spot. My hands are sweating. Taco Tuesday.
Yes. 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 That's what it's all about right there, ladies and gentlemen. Get into it. Shove those tacos around. Yeah, there you go. Oh, look at it. He's throwing the tacos in the air. Oh, my God. There's raining tacos.
The cheese.
The cheese. There we go. Get the sour cream. Pour the sour cream on yourself. Oh, my God. That's so funny. Oh, shit. No one will ever know.
Taco Tuesday.
All right, that's all the questions I have. Do you have any other questions?
Sure.
Yes.
What is your name?
My name is John. Should I say my last? I guess people know my
What
last.
is your middle name?
My name is Joseph.
What do they both have in common?
So start with the letter J.
And
O. Second letter is O.
and
And they're biblical names.
yes.
Yeah.
Are
Big.
you religious?
I am religious. I'm a Catholic, practicing Catholic. I have recently kind of explored other denominations just because I was Catholic my whole life. So I was like, all right, well, maybe there's other stuff out there. But not anything beyond Christianity. So we listened to a couple sermons today actually on YouTube, which was kind of cool. The guy was like just super intense. It's not really my style, but the Catholic Church is so like slow and like structured that it's sometimes it's not very exciting. And I'm looking for a little, shake it up a little bit. You know what I mean? Maybe we want to shake it up a little.
Baptist in there.
I haven't been to Baptist. I've been to Protestant and Methodist, but mainly once I went to those, I kind of now want to focus on just finding another Catholic church because I think it might just be like the priest of mine. I don't know, but
I don't think I ever told you, but I went to a Catholic church once.
Oh yeah.
It was it's a family friend. It was my brother's ex-girlfriend in high school, like their family. I went to Catholic church with them. I think I was a senior in high school. I think I was in high school and I went, and I guess they have those kneeling, what are those called? The little pray things where you kneel.
I think it's just a kneeling stand. They're attached to pews. Pews
Yeah.
are the bench. Yeah. I don't think the kneeling thing has a name. At least I don't know.
So the kneeling things, at one point, everybody starts and kneels, and I'm still sitting there beside my brother, and he's just sitting there, and everybody in the church around us was like giving us a stare, like, why aren't you kneeling? I'm like, well, I don't know if I'm supposed to be kneeling. I really don't feel like kneeling because, and it was such a slow ceremony. I was just like, that's one of the reasons I don't go to church or never enjoyed church, because it's been so boring. And it's not that the Bible is boring. There's a lot of verses and stuff in the Bible that's interesting, but I just think a lot of churches I go to or have been to are like really boring. And I'm like, do I really want to wake up early on a Sunday to go for an hour or whatever to hear a boring man talk? No.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult because everything surrounding the guy talk is boring to me. So it's like this, like a Catholic church, it's like the same prayers, it's the same setup time. And that's the majority of the time that I spend in church, is them doing these things that they've done for years. And that's boring. It's just, I use it as like, sometimes I'll bring my own Bible and I'll just use it at the time for like self-reflection. But the homily is really what entices me to get up and go to church, because that's when I feel like that's the moment of creativity among the agenda of items that they have to go through. But I felt like the church that I'm at, the guy is just lacking in his delivery.
Charisma.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm looking for. But yeah, like I don't usually kneel either. I just kind of like sit down and like scoot forward because it hurts my knees. Yeah. Anything else? I'm gonna do this again later with JoJo, and I'll ask her questions like this. So you guys can get to know her too, or Google her. Do you have any other questions?
So is it Google her or Googler?
Google her. I don't know if you'd find anything if you Googled her.
What if you Google her, the Googler?
Google her, the Google her. Tell her to Google her because she's the Googler. All right, cool. So this has been our special bonus episode. And
ask us if you want to learn anything about us. Like, why is John's beard 3 inches long?
Yes. Why is it? Because I'm lazy. I'm gonna go live real quick, see what's going on.
Oh, fuck it. We'll do it live. Is that time?
Yeah, it's been a couple minutes on live. I'm now oops.
What are you doing?
I'm now live. No one's joined yet, but we're on.
Live what?
On Instagram.
Right now?
Yeah, I meant to do it at the beginning of the show, but I got too excited. I was too excited to talk to you.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, you can go live on Twitter too.
Make funny faces.
Yeah. All right. I will keep this on, but that is it for the special bonus episode of Question Talk. Hit us up on Instagram, at Question Talk, Twitter at Question Talk Pod. Send us your questions. Now that you know us a little bit, ask us some things. Help us get to know what's interesting to you so we can talk about it in a weird way. Love you guys, and be safe out there.
And Taco Tuesday.